Hmm. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's pre-service meditation. I am your facilitator this morning, one of the practitioners of distinction, Eugene Holden, and joining me this morning as the interpreter is the beloved Ashlee. And so, if you would, go ahead and soften your gaze. Let's take a nice deep breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale. And now, breathing exclusively through your nose, bring your awareness to your breath, making sure to inhale fully and exhale completely. Keeping the breath slow, smooth, soft, silent, and sacred. Just keeping your awareness on the breath. Become aware of how the breath enters the body through the nostrils, filling up the torso, and then how it exits the body through the nostrils, emptying from the torso. And then we breathe. Allowing each exhale to relax the body. For truly, physiologically speaking, a nice deep breath, especially the exhale, is the signal to the body to relax. And so we relax into this moment. The other thing I love about the breath is that it always reminds us that there is only this moment. Think about it. You cannot take a breath for 2 minutes from now. You can't take a breath for 2 minutes ago. We can only breathe in this moment. And in this moment, life is fully lived. Life is fully lived in the moment. In this moment, all needs are met. There's nothing we need in this moment. Because in this moment, we are present to this moment. And so now we allow this breath to guide us into the throne room of the heart, the inner sanctum of the Most High, what is referred to as the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is not some temple somewhere outside of us in some faraway land. The Holy of Holies is right where you are. That inner sanctum, the throne room of the heart. And we breathe. In this inner sanctum, we find our imagination. We find our intuition. We find the source of our creativity, and it is the gateway, the doorway, the passageway to our higher power. And so we breathe. And so we come into this inner sanctum with the intention of sitting with that higher power, which truly is our higher selves. It is who and what we are. And so for the next few minutes, we sit in communion with the divine. Peace, be still. Be still. And if your mind drifts off of the breath, that's okay. Just gently bring it back and enjoy the sacred tryst with the one. And so while we are still in this space of the inner sanctum of the Most High, we gratefully give thanks, acknowledging that divine being that we've been spending this time with. We give thanks for this holy communion with the One. As we begin to bring our awareness back to our bodies, maybe wiggling the toes, moving the hands, the shoulders, rotating the neck, while still maintaining that slow rhythmic breathing. We become aware of the room that we're in, feeling the vibration of the room, maybe some heat in the room on this beautiful, chilly day. The smells in the room. Just becoming aware of our surroundings. Taking note that there is no place where the surroundings end and that inner sanctum begins, because it is all right where we are. And so as we become fully aware of the room that we're in, I speak this word, recognizing that there is one power, one presence, one life that is at the very center of all of life. It expresses itself, it manifests itself, it represents itself in, through, and as all there is. Recognizing that it is everywhere present, I know that right where we are, it is. For there is no place we can go where God, the infinite intelligence, is not. And so it is in this awareness of our oneness, in this divine beingness, that I speak this word of gratitude. Grateful for this time well spent in sacred meditation. So we take this vibration with us into today's service, knowing that today's service is uplifted simply because we took the time to connect with the One. So now this concludes this morning's pre-service meditation. Take a breath and enjoy the day. Peace and abundant blessings.
rest my weary soul in me. I give you back this life I owe, and in your ocean depths its flow may richer, fuller be. Oh, light that follows all my way. Yield my liquoring for torch to thee. My heart restores its borrowed ray, and in your sunshine's blaze its day may brighter, fairer be. Rejoice, my heart, rejoice, my soul. My Savior God has come to thee. Oh, rejoice, my heart, you've been made whole by a love that will not let me go. By a love that will not let me go. Oh, joy that seeks me through the pain. I cannot close my heart to thee. I chase the rainbow through the rain and feel the promise is not vain. That morn shall tearless be. Rejoice, my heart, rejoice, my soul. My Savior God has come to thee. Oh, rejoice, my heart, you've been made whole by a love that will not let me go. Rejoice, my heart, rejoice, my soul. My Savior God has come to thee. Oh, rejoice, my heart, you've been made whole by a love that will not let me go. By a love that will not let me go. Oh, yes, love, it will not let me go. Oh, love, it will not let me go.
Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. Woo! Happy October! Woo! I am your host, Tracy Rhymes. Our speaker is our spiritual director, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Amber Sweeney. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Eugene D. Holden. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Ashlee Goldman and Renuka Purimetla. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you for your service. Yep, it's going to be that kind of day. Excuse me. At CSLGB, every Sunday is an invite a friend or a family member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Eugene Holden has been a student of the science of mind and spirit for over 30 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. For 10 years, he served the World Ministry of Prayer at CSL Home Office. Eugene also served as Home Office Liaison to the Diversity Commission, serving as trainer and facilitator. He has been a well-loved contributor to the Science of Mind magazine for over 13 years, inspiring lives around the world. Eugene allows vision to guide him. It is prayer that fuels him. He is deeply committed to his purpose of joyfully assisting others in remembering who and what they truly are. Divine beings of light. Eugene believes that together we can reveal the kingdom of heaven right here on earth. What is heaven? Heaven is ever expanding good.
God morning to you, Tracy Rhymes. Thank you so much for setting this up. Like Tracy said, it's going to be one of those days. You know, it's already one of those days. So let's anchor this in prayer. So this is what I know. I know that there is an infinite intelligence from which all things are created. This is something that I don't believe. This is something that I know, that this infinite intelligence permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe, which means that with the space within the space, between the space, is filled with the vibrancy and the power of that which I call God. The love intelligence that governs the universe through divine law and unconditional love. You see, there's only one thing happening here, and that is the activity of God as it reveals itself in, through, and as everything that is seen and unseen. Everything that is known and the yet to be known. See, I recognize that this power is the source of the Alpha. This power is the source of the Omega, for there's nothing before this, there's nothing after this, And there's nothing that can exist outside of the presence of the infinite, because truly God is all there is. And so recognizing that this, what I call God is everywhere present, I know that right where I am, God is fulfilling its life completely in, through, and as my life. Oh yeah, right where I am, God is. And here's what I know. The truth about me is the truth about each individualized expression tuning in today. And even each individualized expression who is not tuning in today, it doesn't matter. No matter where we are, God is. Like I like to say, right here, right now, God is, we are. We are the manifestation of the divine. We are love incarnate. We are peace. We are the peace that we've been looking for. We are God in action. And so it is in my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word for this time today. I name, I claim, I declare, I decree that this word that I speak is now something that we see manifesting in our lives. I know that this message today by the Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is a message that comes deep from his heart, deep from that ocean of abundance. And it falls on fertile ears, it falls on fertile hearts, so that we may catch that vision, so that we may catch that word, so that we may then put that word into practice for our own lives, knowing that as we swim in this ocean of abundance, that we are absolutely buoyed up. We are supported. We are guided. We are absolutely uplifted in this moment and every moment that we call now. So this which I have declared is already being manifested. So we accept that this is done. We accept that this is answered prayer. We accept that this treatment is being demonstrated right here and right now. We accept that this is the word made flesh. So knowing that this is so, I just release it. I take my hands off of it. You see, there's nothing more for us to do but to be in the awareness that yes, this is done. That yes, this life is magnificent. To be in the awareness that we are uplifted, to be the presence of the living spirit. And so we allow this to be. And so it is. Amen.
Honoring the world's religions. The Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's community, honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual, veneration of kami, and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life.
On November 20th, the annual CSLGB membership meeting will be held following a brief community fellowship on Zoom. This is a great opportunity for voting members of the community to vote on proposed changes such as the 2023 budget, bylaws, amendments, and more in order to grow and thrive as a community. For additional information, contact Board of Trustees President Dana Cole or Vice President Robin Fahrenholt. Of course. Wrong slide. Study, learn, and grow with Science of Mind and Spirit and Thursday night study groups. Visit cslgreaterbaltimore.org to learn how to participate, enroll in the discovery class, and know what Reverend Dr. Ray is teaching in the larger CSL community and beyond. The art and science of spiritual mind treatment. This course explores the principles and practices of science of mind with an emphasis on the use of daily science of mind. The art and science of spiritual mind treatment. To make sure I said that correctly. This course explores the principles and practices of science of mind with an emphasis on the use of daily spiritual mind treatment. This will happen on Tuesdays, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, beginning October 18th for 9 weeks. The investment for this class is $200. And the facilitator will be Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. For more information and to register, contact Sue Monahan at sue@biwt.com. All right, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore quarterly magazine is now available. To get your digital copy today, visit cslgreaterbaltimore.com and go to the events or media page. All right, y'all, work with me. For a full list of news and events and ways you can volunteer to serve, go to our website, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/events. You have 12 weeks to be inspired and moved to action and receive your daily inspirations from Reverend Dr. Ray. Type JOIN2 833-663-9021. The final daily text and voicemail will be on December 31st, 2022. It is with great sadness that I inform our community that as of December 31st, Rev Ray will no longer be the senior minister of the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. We will be having a healing gathering to have a Q&A conversation to answer your questions and concerns regarding this transition and what that means for this community. Here at CSLGB, we live as answered prayer. Because at this moment, Tracy fingers can use some. Because prayer works. We, as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Amber Sweeney is a songwriter, performer, and recording artist. Her original songs have been featured in 2 of CW's television series, One Tree Hill and Life Unexpected, as well as in Queen Sugar and Stephen King's film adaptation of Riding the Bullet, while she was performing with other artists. Sweeney has released 2 EPs, 2 full lengths, and multiple singles, one of which topped the UK Soul chart at #1. Amber has served as governor for the Pacific Northwest chapter for the last 6 years and co-chaired the chapter's education committee. Dedicated to serving her community and sharing her expertise, she has organized, moderated, and participated in many education and professional development programs for both established and emerging artists. She is also a youth mentor at Rock Solid Teen Community Center. Visit her website, theambersweeney.com. I give you Amber.
my faith will stand, and I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Your grace abounds in deepest waters. Your sovereign hand will be my guide. Where feet may fail and fear surrounds me, you've never failed, and you won't start now. So I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Yes, I am yours, and you are mine. So Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders, and swim in these infinite waters wherever you lead me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in these infinite waters. Yes, Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders, swimming in these infinite waters wherever you would lead me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in these infinite waters. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. Oh, I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans arise, my soul will rest in your embrace. For I am yours, and you are mine. I am yours, and you are mine. I am yours, and you are mine.
Thank you, Amber. Hmm. Hmm. All right. So, Eugene. Eugene now returns to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Thank you, Tracy. Amber, thank you so much for your gifts and for your heart and for your soul and for your voice. Thank you so very much. Spiritual practice. Operative word here is practice. Speaking of Amber, I wonder how many hours of practice Amber has put into her art. So today's spiritual practice, I want to encourage us all to engage in this practice. And so we are talking today about, the Rev will be speaking about this ocean of abundance. So what we want to practice is becoming aware that we are surrounded by and one of this ocean of abundance. Just like a little drop contains everything in the ocean, we too contain everything that Spirit has already gifted us with. As the oak tree is already inherent in the acorn, the abundance of the universe is already within us. So the practice is this. We want to eliminate such thoughts of, I can't, I'm afraid, I can't afford it. You see, this does not help us to manifest or experience the abundance that is already here. We want to eliminate from our consciousness, there is not enough. We want to practice the opposite. We want to talk only about the things that we want to see in our lives. We want to only talk about the things that you want to watch live and you want to watch grow. See yourself abundant. It doesn't matter what the bank account says. It doesn't matter what the news stories say. We are surrounded in this ocean of abundance. So what do? What's the practice? We keep our thoughts on the ideas of abundance. Practice this thought here. And this is from John Randolph Price 40-Day Prosperity Plan. God is lavish, unfailing abundance. What I add to that is this. God is lavish, unfailing abundance in my life. Practice being aware that the divine in you is the source and substance of your good. Now, this is more than me just speaking these words. I am hoping that you're writing down some notes, writing this down, because you are encouraged, you are invited, you are inspired to make this a practice. Practice seeing, practice feeling that you are the abundance of the divine. Peace and abundant blessings.
Thank you, Eugene. Whew. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the centers. I'm starting over. I'm going to get this right. Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration, he has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and visionary New Thought leader who makes complex metaphysical concepts readily understandable and applicable. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. ACTIVE is an acronym that stands for authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. And he continues to live his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, workshop and seminar facilitator, visual artist, ASL interpreter, and ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
Say what? No, seriously. Like it was it was so funny because she started the bio and then she was like, I'm gonna start. Oh, it's me. Okay, I got bye. Hey! Guten Morgen. Hola, buenos dias. Namaste. All that good stuff. Welcome to October. Welcome to the chills. Welcome to the leaf changes. Welcome to October. And we're kicking off October related to finances. Money, 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 money. But it's more than just that. It's more than just money, which we're going to talk about momentarily. Today we are specifically talking about swimming in the infinite ocean. Infinite ocean, this infinite source, this thing that has no beginning and has no end. So when we look at the abundant nature of the universe everywhere and always fully present, we recognize and we see this sacredness of wealth, of health, of joy, of love, of possibility. We expand our idea of just how big really is. I just ran across this documentary on Netflix. I think it was Netflix, and I think it was yesterday, where it's called Infinity. And they talk about what exactly infinity is. And it is an amazing documentary watching these theoretical physicists and philosophers and all these like folks discussing this concept of infinity. You know, I didn't see anybody on there, you know, talking about it from, at least not this far, talking about it from a spiritual sense, but that's where we come in. So finance, what is it? So if I threw out that word, because if we're talking about swimming in this infinite ocean, and this month we're talking about finance, then we need to establish some, you know, some groundwork rules kind of thing. So I want you to bring to your mind when you hear that word, when you read that word, what comes to mind? Finance. You if you were there for the spiritual practice, you heard Eugene say, you know, eliminate from your consciousness, eliminate from your lexicon these ideas, these words, these phrases that say, I can't afford, I don't have, etc. Right? It's more empowering to say, well, I choose not to spend $15 on a cup of coffee, even though today's International Coffee Day. I'm not spending $15 on a cup of coffee. That's my choice. Not that I don't have the money for it. I can't afford it. I'm broke. I'm poor. Right? So this idea of finance, sit with it and ask yourself, what do I think about? What comes to mind when I think finance? Same way, when you are thinking about this quote unquote infinite ocean, Are you swimming in it or are you drowning in it? Are you treading water, barely staying afloat? Because if this infinite ocean ultimately is a symbol, a metaphor for the infinite, which is God, are you swimming? Are you drowning? Are you barely staying afloat? And if you are swimming, how are you swimming? Are you swimming like any of these creatures who are so adept at swimming this infinite ocean that they're not even focused on the idea of there being not the ocean? Right? Like you've heard that old joke that, you ask a fish, so how's the water down there? And the fish says, water. What's water? Because it's all it knows. So when we recognize this concept of the infinite power and presence, are we so immersed in it that we don't have the ability to even see or conceptualize scarcity, lack, separation, anything other than God, since God is all there is? Breathe. So to what degree, what is your skill level when it comes to swimming in the infinite ocean? How are you engaging the process of swimming? In other words, how are you stewarding the infinite? How are you stewarding the energy that creates money? How are you stewarding the energy that creates health and well-being? How are you stewarding your mental equivalent? Joseph Campbell says, God is a metaphor for that which transcends all levels of intellectual thought. See, God is just a word. We use it. Some people don't like it. I would rather you not use the word God. I don't like it. Why? Because you have baggage or trauma related to some way that you were introduced to that word or what that word was supposed to mean. But that word is not the thing itself, right? Just because I say the word water right now doesn't mean you can drink it. Just because I say the word water doesn't mean if you are thirsty, your thirst will be quenched. Just saying the word God doesn't mean you are aware of the presence of it. Just saying the word finances, just saying the word alignment, just saying the word, all of these things are simply placeholders. They are metaphors for the thing itself. And the thing itself transcends our quote unquote finite ability to conceptualize it. It transcends. It goes beyond. That's why we say a new thought, open at the top, because there is always more and greater and more. So breathe. Because when we talk about this idea of personal finances, well, if I'm open at the top and there's always more and it's an abundant universe, then when I am thinking of my finances, am I thinking of them from various little compartments, and I'm thinking of it in terms of lack and scarcity, what I don't have, what I want more of, but can't get more of because, money doesn't grow on trees, and any number of other phrases that are used to limit the energy of the divine in our lives. When I think personal finances and the planning of them, what does that mean to me? Not just intellectually. Remember, we're transcending just the intellect. What does it mean spiritually? What does it mean energetically? Wayne Dyer says, abundance is not something we acquire. It is something that we tune into. We don't acquire abundance, because that would presuppose the idea that I don't have it. But if I'm already the infinite incarnating, then I already have abundance. Question is, am I aware of it? Am I tuned in? Now, when we say tuned in, what does that mean? Am I generating the same frequency of abundance? Remember, we talk about faith as this continuum of energy. And on one end, there's life-affirming faith, and at the other end, there's life-denying faith. This moves us into inspiration and power, and this is fear and worry. But it's one continuum, because it's all referencing, what am I grounded and anchored in as a belief? Just like the frequency of a radio. All of these wavelengths are going on at the same time. Same thing. Lack, scarcity, abundance. All of these frequencies are happening because we're thinking. There's a collective consciousness. And our invitation, as Eugene said, our spiritual practice is tune into the frequency of truth. Tune into the frequency of the very presence of God, Source, Spirit. Tune into that frequency. And we'll find out that, okay, there it is. And what does that frequency now enable us to recognize, to know, and to live, not just from, but to live as? What does that energy now call us to do? There are a great many books and resources out there around money. And I mean a lot. If you just do a search, type in books regarding money and see, whew, we as a species, dare I say, are obsessed with money. But why? Because there aren't this same number of books about air. Oh, because it's abundant. We're breathing it. Oh, but I got you. People want money. So they need books to teach them how to get it, how to keep it, how to earn it, how to raise it, how to invest it to get more of it, how to, right. And yet the vast majority of them are written from the frequency of lack and scarcity. Many of them still vibrate. I'm not necessarily these on the screen, although some of them do, but the vibration of there isn't enough. So do what you need to do to get your piece of the pie. Breathe. Because our invitation, like for real, our invitation is to move away from that frequency, to get away from that concept and recognize that money, right? This, because there is nothing other than God. So this thing called money is actually source. It is spirit. It is the very substance of all that is. It is supply itself. See, we think that our boss, our employer, pays us. You know, they write a check and they deposit in our bank account, or they give it to us in our hand. They're not the source of supply, because they're not creating the energy that becomes money. The infinite supplies. So what happens when we recognize that infinite source, that infinite spirit, that infinite substance that is ever generating, creating, and manifesting, and that infinite supply? Infinite meaning has no end. And not just recognize it as in, oh, I see it, I spot it, but I understand that because it's all there is, then I am source incarnating. I am spirit incarnating. I am substance expressing itself. I am supply manifesting as the flesh that is this body, that is me, that is this mind and these emotions. I am that. I am. Does it change our relationship to finances? Does it change the manner in which we live, move, and have our beingness in the infinite ocean? It has to. Ernest Holmes says, God is spirit. Spirit is substance, and substance is supply. This is the keynote to a realization of the more and more and more abundant life, to the demonstration of success in financial matters, in health and well-being, in effective relationships. Yes, some of this is me adding in where he stopped, that period, turn it into a comma, because it's ultimately the demonstration of success in, through, and as our lives. Because see, it doesn't matter if you're successful in financial matters, but nobody likes you, right? Like I've got $1 trillion, but I have no friends who want to go to Disney with me. So I got to go by myself. That's no fun. Oh, I have money and I have friends, but I have mistreated, ill stewarded my body so horrendously that I lack the ability to take 3 steps without, I'm tired. Wow, guess I shouldn't have ate those 37,000 box of Pop-Tarts last night. Don't laugh, Tracy. There's a lot of Pop-Tarts, right? But so success, it's the infinite expression of it in all areas of our lives, not just finances. But the idea is, do I recognize, do I have this realization, and I'm living from this awareness that I am this abundant life in expression? Eric Butterworth says, when we establish ourselves in the consciousness of God, the whole universe moves to flow into us with its abundance of life and substance. And I've got to remix this. When we establish ourselves in the consciousness of God, because that's all there is, then the whole universe moves and flows in us and through us and as us, because the abundance of this all-powerful, all-presentness, the very essence of all that is, this abundance of life, of substance, of supply, that which is spirit itself, is our lives. It's all that we are. And when we establish ourselves in that, as that, with that, through that, then the whole universe moves to match our frequency. Just like when I turn the dial on the radio, the frequency moves to match my practice. Now, once again, we have spiritual books referencing money and prosperity and abundance. But note that book in the middle. Even mystics have bills to pay. Why did Reverend Jim write that book? Because there is a concept within spiritual circles that says, oh, you're a mystic. You don't need money. You're a monk. You don't need money. You're a priest. You're a preacher. You're a minister. You don't need money. You live beyond money. You live a holier life. You have a vow of chastity and a vow of poverty. You have made what? I have made no such vow. Why would I choose to vow to limit the infinite flow of the universe, however it is showing up in my life and as my life? So once again, our invitation is to recognize that there is no separation within God. Breathe and ask yourself, do I need to change the manner in which I think about money? Robert Kiyosaki says, Making more money will not solve your problems if cash flow management is your problem. So for those you don't know, Robert is, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author of that. Making more money will not solve your problems if cash flow management is your problem. So Reverend Ray's remix. Tracy said remix. Cash flow. Making more money will not solve your problems if cash, creative awareness, and spiritual health, if you are unable to manage that, then more money, nothing is going to solve your problems. Breathe that in. If you have a challenging time, if you are not practicing the creative awareness and spiritual health, if you are not practicing that, then there is no amount of money, no amount of likes on Instagram or Facebook, no amount of friends on social media, no amount of friends coming to visit you at home, no amount of cars, no amount of boyfriends, girlfriends, or others, no amount of any of that will solve your problem because you are out of alignment with God. Tracy said, you got me shouting up here. So really ground into this. The creative awareness, spirit, and spiritual health, practicing the presence. If you are not doing this, then nothing will solve your problems. What do we say in New Thought? There is nothing that needs to be healed. Only truth. Truth. Creative awareness and spiritual health. I am that I am. Truth. If we are not practicing truth, then we will forever continue to be bound by the lies. You're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not valuable enough. You're too fat. You're too thin. You're too tall. You're too short. You're too something or not enough of something. You're too loud. You're too quiet. You're too happy. You're too sad. You're too something. There's always going to be something to judge, to complain about, because we ourselves are not in the frequency of the infinite I am. See, I don't want to just swim in the infinite ocean. I want to have mastered this management of being in the flow and as the flow itself to such a degree that I walk on water. That as Moses struck the stone and water was produced, I want to have mastery over every aspect of the divine that is incarnating in, through, and as me, every aspect of my mental equivalent. That is why practicing the presence, practicing principle is not just a practice that I do, is a way of life. Breathe. Breathe. Thank you, Dana. I do my best with the acronyms. Yes, I am the king of acronyms. Yes. So if I were to ask you, what do these two things have in common? Like, why are they connected on here? Why is there a camel? And so for those of you who are biblical scholars, come on, Frank, bring it. Come on, you just did the Bible class. What do these have in common? Matthew says, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Say what now? It is easy. Say what now? It is easier for a camel. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Now breathe, because so many of us spiritual folks have used this passage to denounce and deny our own health and well-being. We have denied our ability to be rich, to be wealthy, to be opulent, to be prosperous in love, joy. Because if we are denying ourselves any aspect of God, pause. Have you ever heard it said, a threat to democracy or a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to it everywhere? Have you ever heard it said, none of us are free until all of us are free? You cannot deny God in this area and then think you're welcoming it here. You can't think that you're embodying God here, but not here. It's an all or nothing sum game. Breathe that in. So rather than continuing to use quotes and scripture and passages to deny our wealth, he who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will thrive like foliage. He who trusts in his riches. Now, metaphysically, we could dive deeper, right? We're not going to do that right now, because he who trusts in his riches, if you're trusting only in money, then yeah, you're going to fall because you're trusting in the money, not the infinite supply and source. But that's a different subject. That's a different conversation. The point is, people have used this. He who trusts in his riches will fall. Once again, to deny riches, to say it is a sin to be wealthy. Huh? So we have decided as a culture that the 1% get to be rich. And then we talk about them. You know, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. You know, we live by meager means. We are just, eking by, barely making ends meet. And somehow we have made that mean holy, a righteous life, rather than it is holier to live an abundant life. It is holy to live in a manner in which you are plentiful with laughter and plentiful with joy and generous with your happiness. Right? That is what it means to truly swim in the infinite ocean of that which is God. So rather than make our affirmation or our mantra, money is the root of all evil, because how many times have we heard that? How many times have we said that? Which comes from Timothy. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Now, remember, faith is a spectrum. We use faith as if it's only this thing and fear is something else and this is something else. It's one continuum. It's like temperature. One end is more heat. One end is less heat, but they're not on two separate things. There isn't the hot and the cold. Light, it's one spectrum. More light, less light, we call darkness. But it's one continuum. So this idea, for the love of money is the root of all evil, pause, because it's not. For the obsession of money, for the greed of money, for the addiction of money. Why? Why would that be? Because your myopic focus is on money as if money is the source, meaning money will solve my problems. It won't. Being in this loving relationship, I'm all booed up. It is cuffing season. That's not going to solve your problems. The only thing that heals us is a recognition of truth. There is nothing that needs to be healed, only truth to be revealed. So what is the truth of your being? What is the truth of money? What is the truth of your life? What is the truth of you? Practice it daily. Moment by moment, hour by hour. Practice it. Bring truth to the forefront of your mind and live, move, and have your beingness from that space. Holmes says, it is right that we should be successful, for otherwise, spirit is not expressed. Say what now? It is right that we should be successful. It is right that we should be healthy. It is right that we should be loved. It is right that we should be loving. It is right that we should laugh. It is right that we should be joyful. For the other alternative would be recognizing that spirit is not expressed. The divine cannot lack for anything. And so we also should not lack for anything that makes our lives worthwhile and bring that to others. For true equity, justice, and a world that works for all means I don't just teach someone to fish. You know, we know that saying, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, he eats for the, yes. And yet, if he's hungry, he's not focused on me teaching him how to fish. So if he's hungry, I give him a fish while teaching him how to fish. It's both and. How do I share joy and laughter? It's not mine to hoard. How do I share health and well-being? It's not mine to hoard. How do I share money and finances? How do I share truth? It is not mine to hoard. How do I share the infinite awareness of God? It is not mine to hoard. Breathe. Reverend Ray says, Tracy said, what'd he say? Money is a tool, just like paint is for a painter, just like clay for a potter, food for the chef, and notes for the musician. Money is an expression of source, and we are called to be master stewards who know how to utilize the tools in order to create, manifest masterpieces of beauty and wonder in the world. Hoarding and denying your divine wealth is blasphemy. Tracy said, ouch. Breathe. Because if we're going to be honest and practice, you know, Eugene, you know, we often share, you know, kung fu, you know, anecdotes and whatnot, and talk about training and doing forms and, you know, weapon work and stuff. And we know that there is an element of when you are practicing, when you're doing your horse stance, there is an effective way to do it and an ineffective way to do it. The ineffective way is not going to reap the rewards or the results that we desire, but it's still a practice. Lack and scarcity is a practice. We weren't born doing it. Someone taught us that consciousness. And we took it on and said, oh, wax on, wax off. That's incorrect, Reverend Ray. It's wax on, wax. Oh, wax on. That's incorrect. It's incorrect. But we are always practicing. So the question is, to go back to what Eugene said, what is the result that I desire to experience? What is the result? Start at the end. What is the result? And then work our way backwards, develop the practice, and then do it consistently. Because otherwise, it's blasphemy. To deny yourself self-care, it's blasphemy. To deny yourself radical love and acceptance, blasphemy. If Amber was to say, I'm done, I am never going to sing again. Well, first of all, I'm showing up at Amber's house, knocking on the door. I don't even know where Amber lives, but I will find, how many Ambers can there be in Nashville? I will find, does Amber live here? No. Does Amber live here? No. Does Amber, I see you hiding, Amber. I see you back there, right? I will find Amber and be like, Amber, what is this nonsense about you will never. She's like, well, you know, like, no. What do we need to pray? What do we need to anchor in truth? Because there is no way that you can deny creation, your beauty and your gift. If Eugene said, I'm done, I don't want to be a practitioner. See, I know where Eugene lives. I will walk through the Gettysburg Address and find Eugene. Like, can I walk through the Gettysburg? You know what I mean. I will find him, right? to deny our gifts and talents. Ashlee, what do you mean you're not interpreting anymore? Renuka, what do you mean you're... Excuse me, you will not on my watch, you will not deny your divine magnificence. Because to do so is blasphemy. Breathe. I can't hear nothing you saying, Tracy. This week's practice. What was... Let us pray for Tracy. What was the idea of God's relationship to wealth that you grew up with, and what is it now? God's relationship to wealth. What was it? Were you raised in a Catholic home where, not necessarily being poor, but, not living in a lavish and abundant, that's too much. That's too gaudy. That's not godly. What was your concept then, and what is it now? Where do you see the extravagant nature of the universe? Where do you see it? Where are you able to identify it? And what feelings come up when you hear or when you say words like opulence, prosperity, extravagance, wealth? What do these words bring up for you? And maybe you're thinking, Bill Gates, opulent. That's not me. Elon Musk, that's extravagance. That's not me. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about the words. I'm talking about the energy of the words. Can you see yourself as opulence in expression? Can you see yourself as the individualized expression of wealth? And once again, I'm not just talking money. I'm talking about all... Ernest Holmes said, whatever is true about God is true about you. Whatever is true about God is true about you. Can you identify that regarding you? And then lastly, have a conversation with 3 people about the practice of shifting consciousness as it relates to money, finances, and wealth. What does that practice, what does it entail? What does it look like? What is the practice? What does it look like, and what does it feel like? Someone can say, oh, I meditate every day, but there are a whole bunch of ways that one can meditate. What does your method of meditation look like? When you journal, what do you journal? Right? Because I could say, well, I journal every morning, but you don't know what that journaling entails. Is there a prompt? What does it entail? See, my first thing in the morning journaling is I journal my dreams. And then I go back and go through the dream to break it down. And what is it revealing? What is it showing me? What is it teaching me? What is it inviting me to express or release? So when I say journaling, you don't know that until I express that. What does your practice entail? Converse about it. And ultimately, how does your practice, what does it do to change what's going on in the world? Because if I am only me, I, it's all about me, then I'm not being a good Samaritan. Because when I see someone laying in the ditch, that's not mine. You should have had a better consciousness. And I go about my business. That's blasphemy. Breathe. This week's declaration, I will say it first, and if you feel in alignment with this, if this frequency resonates with you, then say it with me on our second go round. In an ocean of infinite abundance, I am swimming magnificently. Together. In an ocean of infinite abundance, I am swimming magnificently. Breathe. Breathe as we stand at the edge of the shore and we watch this amazing and beautiful and powerful and talented swimmer demonstrate how she magnificently swims in the ocean of the infinite as a master of music, as a master of this ability to take notes and string them together, knowing that this frequency and this vibration of this note and this note with this word and this feeling that we feel from her changes our lives. Breathe and receive. Much love and appreciation, Amber.
I gotta give a quick little testimony about this song because it's unreleased. I wrote it almost a year ago with a friend of mine, and with the intention of selling it to a country artist. So, putting that out there. But this kind of hits for me today because I had to take a risk to move to Nashville, and I was really scared about it. It took me 2 years. I didn't want to do it. I really resisted it. And I felt it took me all year to be grateful for it and really recognize the gift that God gave me in being able to move here. And it's taken me a year to align with that and the promise that I think exists here, not just for me, but for a greater community. So thank you, Reverend, for that message, because I think it's really important. And this is a song about jumping into the waters, taking the risk. It's called All Mine. If I stay until I've had enough, if I wait until this all blows up, then I'll miss the chance to take control of steering my own ship. If I go, it might still explode, but I'm sailing to the great unknown with my heart intact, not looking back. My power still in my grip, putting it all on the line, facing crashing waves and hurricanes. 'Cause baby, this feels right. No one sees what's driving me, but I'm keeping sight of paradise. 'Cause baby, this gift is all mine. If I have to find a place to grow, spread my wings until I fill my soul with a steady wind against my back. I'll see how far I'll go, putting it all on the line, facing crashing waves and hurricanes. 'Cause baby, this feels right. No one sees what's driving me, but I'm keeping sight of paradise. 'Cause baby, this risk is all mine. I might never get another chance to share this gift that's in my hands. If I don't, the magic disappears. So I'm putting it all on the line, facing crashing waves and hurricanes. 'Cause baby, this feels right. No one sees what's driving me, oh, but I'm keeping sight of paradise. 'Cause baby, this gift is worth putting it all on the line, facing crashing waves and hurricanes. 'Cause baby, this feels right. No one sees what's driving me, but I'm keeping sight of paradise. 'Cause baby, this gift is mine. Yes, I'm keeping sight of paradise. 'Cause baby, this gift is all mine.
So, one, thank you for sharing the, as you refer to it as the testimony. See, it's always great to hear. Okay, everybody, y'all just need to be patient for a second because Amber and I get ready to have a conversation. See, it's always great to hear someone of your caliber sharing, See, listen, there were moments when I had some doubts, and yet when I practiced this thing, I was able to step into living how I want to live and, based upon my dreams, my goals, my passion, and all of that. So, like, for real, thank you for being willing, open enough, transparent enough to share that with us, because that right there is a gift. So, thank you for
You're
all
welcome.
that you are and all that you do.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I don't know if you know this, but you're on the list. So when Tracy and I are in the area, we will let you know because we want to hang out.
I'm coming to the Baltimore area in December.
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a little house concert, so I'll hit you guys up.
Yes, please do. Tracy, you heard that, right? Keep notes. Cool. Excellent. Oh yeah, yes. Oh, see. Yes.
And you're always welcome in Nashville. Always.
Oh, thank you. All
Yeah,
right,
you guys
folks.
are all
Okay.
invited. All invited to that
We're
house
all
concert.
invited. Phil,
Yeah.
road trip. Pack up. Come on, pack up. We're going to Nashville pretty soon. Oh, sorry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages. Tracy refers to me as a big kid anyway, so. Tracy, watch it. I hear you mumbling. I hear you mumbling. She's acting up. Would you stop? At this moment of practice, this moment of service, we practice that which is the spiritual practice of donating and tithing and giving where we are spiritually fed for the purpose of reaping the harvest, right? We sow seeds, not just for the sake of sowing seeds, but for what those seeds are producing, what they are giving as harvest. And the idea is, there's a Chinese proverb that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time, right now. And even though we may never sit under the shade of that tree, there are those who will. So 30, 40, 50 years from now, many of us may not be in the Baltimore area, or we may not be going to CSL Greater Baltimore, but there will be people who are. And so we sow seeds into the community so that generations upon generations, all ages, all ethnicities, all socioeconomic, like all of it is present in this community. And so we offer, we give, we build, we create, we vision for that purpose. Not just where we are spiritually fed, but also to support the business aspect of the community as a 501c3. How do we make sure the lights are on and pay for custodial staff and administrative staff? How do we make sure that the labyrinth and the grounds, the landscapers keep things right? How do we also tithe and donate for that purpose? The Prac Corps, Master Practitioners of Distinction, on top of their regular scheduled monthly tithes, have pledged $50,000. And as of the 26th of September, that number is 20,310. The community's matching pledge, also on top of their regular tithes monthly, as of the same date, is $5,000. How do you tithe, donate, give? Postal mail service, text messaging, Givelify, or PayPal. All are viable options. If you ever want to know more about this process, feel free to reach out to our amazing treasurer. Feel free to also visit our website to get more information. Now, as I've said before, there is no separation within God. So when we are declaring financial wealth and abundance, we are declaring wealth, abundance, prosperity, opulence in all of the ways that God is present in, through, and as our lives. Our health, physical health, emotional health, intellectual health, our well-being, the the healthy nature of our relationships, like all of it, we are declaring when we say these words. If you are resonating at that frequency, then I invite you to say them with me. And don't just say them, embody them so that this becomes your practice. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that truly works for all. Breathe. So you are an awesome, amazing, and powerful person. Know that for yourself. Be grateful for you and your journey. Be grateful for all that you are doing and bringing into the world. We are grateful for you. Be grateful for you as well. Breathe. Because I know for some of us, that's a because we focus on some other frequency rather than the frequency of truth. We practice that other thing rather than practicing the presence. Breathe. Now, a great way to help you, to assist you in your practice is spiritual mind treatment, prayer. And today, once this service ends, you can go over to the Zoom room and Eugene, the master practitioner of distinction on duty today, will be there ready, willing, and able to know the truth about you, to know the truth for you, to anchor and ground in this frequency of, to assist you in shifting and elevating your frequency to know the truth about yourself. And so if you're already, vibing at a frequency of, oh, life is good, I'm feeling great, then why not have Eugene anchor into the frequency of, oh, I am great, and now I'm even greater. Oh, my. Thank you, Tracy. Right? Why not have more good than the good you have right now? So join Eugene over in the Zoom room for prayer. Once you're there in Zoom, type the word prayer into the chat box. Tracy will put you in a breakout room. And then once all of the prayers are done, Eugene will be conducting a visioning service. Now, once again, it's a great opportunity to anchor and ground into the practice of being open at the top so that you can vision, so that you can see and experience and feel and align with your greater yet to be, until it's not yet to be, but your greater now it's being. So right after all the prayers are done, so folks will be fellowshipping, Eugene will be praying and knowing the truth. And then once that's done and this is done, also feel free to join for visioning. Just stay in the Zoom. Now let us anchor and close this thing we call service, but recognizing that the manner in which God is ever acting upon itself, the manner in which we continue to serve all of life. There is only one life, and that life is God. And that life is infinite and amazing and joyous. And that life is my life now. And what is true for me must be true for each and every person watching right now, because there is only that which God is. And so if God is doing that for me, through me, in me, and as me, then it must be also for everywhere else that it shows up. It can only be that. And so we go out and live this. We practice this. Every interaction that we have, every meal that we eat, every meal that we prepare, every sidewalk that we walk on, holy ground, all of the ways that we show up, God being present to itself, as each one of us, individualized expressions of the infinite ocean of creation itself. Tat Tavam Asi, you are it. And the law says yes. Now go live life abundantly, prospering joyously, that we are the emissaries of a world that works for all. The law says yes. That means it's done. And so it is. And so it is. Much love and appreciation, everybody. See you soon. Have a great day.